The old university library held secrets older than its stone walls. And then, a student of applied mathematics, favored its dusty, forgotten corners, drawn to the scent of decaying paper and the silence that pressed in like a heavy blanket. One biting autumn afternoon, while sifting through a box of discarded textbooks and lecture notes, he found a slim, leather-bound volume, unmarked save for a single, handwritten equation scrawled on the inside cover. It was an integral, complex and unsettlingly unfamiliar, accompanied by a small, almost imperceptible symbol that prickled the back of his neck. Something about its structure felt wrong, fundamentally flawed, yet it possessed a strange, hypnotic pull. He copied it into his notebook, a seed of curiosity planted in the fertile ground of his restless mind. Soon, curiosity blossomed into obsession. Evan found himself staring at the symbol for hours, sketching it onto every available surface. He tried to solve the integral, applying every method he knew, every theorem had ever learned. Each attempt ended in failure, the equation resisting analysis like a living thing. Sleep became a luxury he couldn't afford as his mind wrestled with the impossible problem. The symbol began to appear in his thoughts, twisting familiar shapes into disturbing configurations. His research led him down increasingly obscure paths. He haunted local historical societies, pored over Microvich records in the town archive. He learned of Blackwood Estate, a sprawling, isolated property 20 miles outside the town, notorious for its grim history. Centuries ago, the family who lived there vanished without a trace. Local legends spoke of madness, of forbidden knowledge, of a patriarch who delved into geometries that tore the veil between worlds. They then found a fragmented diary entry from a distant relative of the Blackwoods, a woman named Eleanor Vance, who had visited the estate shortly before the family's demise. Her elegant script trembled as she described her uncle, Elias Blackwood, consumed by a cursed problem, an impossible sum that he believed held the key to unlocking ultimate knowledge. She wrote of strange noises emanating from his study, of his gaunt appearance and wild eyes, of the chilling symbol he scrawled everywhere, the very symbol Evan had found. Eleanor's last entry was a desperate plea, a warning for anyone who might stumble upon Elias' work. Do not seek the solution. It is not meant for human minds. It calls to something that waits in the void. The entry ended abruptly. Evan felt a profound chill, not from the drafty archive room, but from the cold certainty that he held the key to the Blackwood tragedy. He also knew, with a dread that settled deep in his bones, that he couldn't stop. The integral was a siren's call, promising understanding even as it promised ruin. He returned to his room, the warning echoing in his head, his hands shaking slightly as he opened his notebook. He saw the equation now not just as a mathematical problem, but as a law, and a symbol, a key. He felt a desperate need to know what lay beyond that law. He began working again, the world outside his window fading into irrelevance. Hours rolled into days. The air in his room grew heavy, thick with an unseen presence. He heard whispers just beyond the edge of hearing, saw fleeting shadows in the corners of his eyes. His reflection in the darkened window seemed distorted, its expression one of terror. The integral lines on the page began to writhe, the symbol pulsing faintly. He was close, so agonizingly close. The numbers shifted, rearranged themselves, coalescing into a pattern that shouldn't exist. A cold dread seized him, colder than any autumn air. He understood then. The integral didn't just represent something. It was something. A tether. As he made the final calculation, a sound like tearing fabric filled the room, low and guttural. The light flickered and died. In the absolute darkness, illuminated only by the pale, unholy glow emanating from the page. Evan sought not a solution, but an opening, and something looked back from the other side, eyes like pinpricks of malevolent starlight. His scream was cut short, a wet, choking sound. The room was silent again, save for the faint, rhythmic pulsing of the symbol on the page, waiting. The integral remained, its purpose fulfilled, claiming another soul who dared to look where they were not meant to look.